All right. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's Aspirers session, Mike Lead Aspirers session. I'm Mary Taney. If you are out there, please, 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 please like and subscribe to our channel. And we have another guest today that's going to be joining us that I'm excited to talk to, another one of our esteemed graduates from the Mike Lead course, and going to give us some information about her. But I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself. I'm just so excited to have you here and have you joining us. It's good to see you again, Patricia. And I'm going to let you introduce yourself, my love. Go right ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Mary, for having me here. I'm really, really excited. It's such a great privilege to be on this um, panel with you tonight. And I say good evening to everyone out there. And yeah, I don't take this opportunity for granted. Yes, I don't. And I'm grateful for it. So, moving on, my name is Patricia Emmanuel. I live in the United Kingdom. And my journey in the IT industry started in 2007. I graduated with a degree in mathematics, and I started work in the corporate in 2007. I still remember vividly. I joined as a country graduate, and it was uh, an experience that actually shaped my journey. And at that time, after the training as a country graduate with a global bank, that was back in Nigeria, I joined them as an IT support and compliance analyst within the banking operations. So uh, I didn't know it then that I was actually um, starting from the security space. I had no idea. But I knew from the start that I wanted to go into IT. So it was a situation where you asked what your interests were. After the training, I said IT, and I found myself in that space. Uh, I I was already being shaped for security, and I was the local process owner for IT controls in the branch in at the head office. Then I requested to move to the branch because I felt I really needed to understand what was going on in the field. I was responsible for providing evidence of effectiveness of internal of controls to internal and external auditors. I also learned early how to protect systems and not just fix them. Years later, I moved into the software development and product delivery niche. As a test consultant, I worked across um, quite a number of organizations because I was moving from one organization to the other as a contractor. And I mostly worked in highly regulated sectors, finance, investment, banking, aviation, health, the MOD, MOJ, and where I specialized mostly in manual and automation testing of systems. By my 12th year in the industry, I found out that my work and assignments that I got contracted to do evolved to focus deeply on security testing. And I was also I had the exposure into cloud infrastructure assurance, identity and access controls. And I wasn't just testing functionality anymore. I was also protecting, testing the safety of these applications. And that was when it clicked for me. Though this is cybersecurity. Yeah, so I saw that this is what it looked like when you embed safety into delivery. of products. Then I can go on, but
Well, you
I
know what?
just
I'm listening. I mean, I have several
all right.
questions. You can
Okay.
go on, or I can stop you and ask you my questions. But go ahead, keep going.
All right.
27. Where are we now? What year are we in now? When you
Yeah.
left this speak.
All right. Yeah. So when that was when it clicked that this is actually cybersecurity, because I had quite a number of exposures to different applications, enterprise systems, simple, complex applications. I interpreted, I analyzed requirement, compliance requirements, regulatory requirement within these industries that I moved across. I tested, wrote, design test strategy, and it was an experience. There were projects where I would lead the strategy or plan, the test that would be written, that would be executed for all sorts of requirements. So it wasn't just is the functionality working. There's the regulatory requirements. Probably there was a time a company was going into going through a process of remediation, or because there was a slip in the data process. So those exposures actually helped shape my direction and built my skills deeper within security. But at the same time, I took a pivotal role in the within what's it called now? A family-owned charity organization. And of course, right now I can't say that anymore because it has grown from myself being the first student to having over 200 mentors on the platform. So it's been a fast growing startup, and there was a growing need to set up a formal security function. And I didn't wait to be asked to lead it. So I stepped into the role. Of course, we had good intentions. People of my color come into the program to get trained and mentored within the software development niche. And we had people also coming in and asking about cybersecurity. And I thought, well, I'm the first person who is really diving into this niche within the organization. And there were good intentions, but I would say as a startup, just myself and my partner managing this together with people that we've trained who have decided to stay back and support scattered practices. That's the truth. And no unified governance. We had controls in place, but not operated. Policies existed, not reviewed, because I had to do the gap analysis like, okay, yes, yeah, with this number of years of exposure that you've had, now um, partnership opportunities were growing, and I knew that we needed to be in that position where we can actually we can actually speak confidently about where we are at in terms of empowerment and training people of our color. But of course, governance wise, we needed to be there. So I took the lead, and I started from the scratch, and not just setting up the security team for the organization, because we built softwares for companies. So I started to work on building that community of practice. First of all, I brought in a consultant. Yeah, because I knew I couldn't do that alone. I needed someone who understood the security space, so I could work with, and that's where the place of a mentor comes in, because I've experienced mentors right from when I was in my university days, and I knew the benefit of having one. So I engaged a consultant to support the initial maturity assessment. Then we started to engage the volunteers on the platform. We had developers, testers, business analysts, scrum masters, delivery managers who have been on the platform working in the industry. But of course, we needed to open up that opportunity for exposure into security. I identified the strengths across the team and delegated, appointed security gatekeepers to own parts of this culture because I saw how we had grown from just oneself to that many. So I replicated what we started years ago in 2008. Now we're growing
Okay.
more
Okay.
hearts children.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead. Finish up.
Yeah. So, that experience of building trust, building governance and the community from the ground up directly followed my role today as a specialist analyst on a national implementation project within the government agency in the UK, so that's in the health sector. So I'm not now leading how system works. I'm also safeguarding how it behaves, how it integrates, how it protects sensitive data across multiple boards and systems. I review security requirements. I look at application requirements holistically, not just from a functionality place or business requirements, but also from the safety and protection space. So and that falls within the test assurance gates and also ensuring that the readiness of system, not just for go life, but also for ongoing operational trust. So in some, if you say an operational um, security assurance professional, yes, I would say that's my space because I'm at these two levels of experience that I've talked about. One is building a security culture in a growing tech organization, and two, leading the holistic assurance of systems and that impact citizens at scale. Uh, yeah, I'll stop there.
Okay. Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
because we're going all the way back. Because of
Yeah,
course you gave us your introduction and thank you for that and all the things that you've done. But of course, these calls are for individuals that are looking to get into the space and
yeah,
trying to figure out how to navigate and things like that. And so what I got from your conversation is you started as a consultant, right? That's where you started your original foray into cybersecurity
yeah,
in 2007.
yeah,
And so as a consultant, okay, so let's pull on that because
yeah,
um there are a lot of individuals getting out of college, getting out of, that want to transition into this space that don't know how. But the consulting role, whether it be with a consulting organization, and it needs to be with a consulting organization because you need a certain level of experience in order to be a cybersecurity consultant. So if you go in and you go into an organization where you're a consultant, it just sounds like you did a lot of different projects and you got a lot of different
yeah,
experiences on the cybersecurity spectrum. What was your favorite out of those times?
yeah. My favorite part out of those times was where I I stood as that middle person with um, the security team and the development team. So I found myself quite a number of times because I had the experience on both sides. So I had quite a number of opportunities where I would bring someone from the two spaces into the room for us to have an agreement and align on specific projects. Because sometimes the development team, they are looking to implement some functionality or element or module within an application, and their first go-to is to get the development work done, but not like with security in mind. It was usually an afterthought. Yeah.
It
But the
still is.
security, yeah, yeah. So, but the security team is saying we do have policies, and our policies, with the policy that we have, you are not able to do this. And there is resistance, or like the security teams, the development team feels these policies have become blockers for them in
Mm.
implementing. So over time, moving from one organization to the other, I mean, the industry evolves. I saw, that there were tools that developers could actually use in when they are writing their code. So they're able to build security into their implementation, that code, the programming right from the scratch. And some of these tools are automated. So for these two teams to meet in the middle and get the alignment, in also knowing that, you know what, we're delivering this project for one organization, not for myself. So that place, that position for me was an assurance position, and also understanding that it's um, it's it's not just about quality. We're also looking at
Mhm.
safety for uh, data, for digital assets, and all of that, and the awareness started to build up, for the teams, and all, and because at the end of the day, there's always like a retrospective on what worked, what didn't work, what should we do better. So this kind of meetings, I get to, you know, share my input and contribution in this kind of meetings, and the action points going forward for the development team, especially because the security team,
Yeah.
they understand their role. You need to protect. So whatever you want to do, work within the policy, guys. So
Well, I
that's
mean, and it seems that that role, that liaison role, which is what it
yeah,
is translating. I've often sat in that role between legal and cybersecurity because I'm an attorney and a geek. So I found myself able to translate the what they were saying because, you know, IT people have their own lingo, lawyers have their own
yeah,
lingo. But
yes, sir.
you actually, as a translator, as someone sitting in the middle, are uniquely situated because you understand both sides. And what I try to tell individual in the courses that we teach is communication skills, written and verbal communication skills are very, very, very important
Yeah,
when you are trying to execute, when you're trying to get something done.
absolutely,
And so it's
absolutely.
like, how did you go about developing, I'm sure as a younger professional, you didn't necessarily have the confidence because communication takes confidence, right? It does.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
how did you go about doing that piece?
Okay, so one of my greatest strengths is in writing. Yes. Sometimes with verbal communication, then I would say that I know one of my mentors said to me, said, Pat, you're very analytical, but when you put your thoughts down in writing, I get the message a lot more, and I worked on that strength of mine. So um once for example, I'll just give an example of a particular situation. So the test team, they wanted to write automated tests. It was the program where I was working on this cloud infrastructure program, and doing some security testing around that. They wanted to write automated tests for this a particular project that is actually making use of that some of the resources within that infrastructure, and there was a blocker for them. The blocker was the way into the system because it was an SSO implementation, which was limited to environments. So you couldn't, there was no way, it was investment bank, there was no way you could use it in the application. It was the security policy only approved, says it can only be used in other environments, but not QA. And it was a blocker for a couple of sprints and all that. It kept reporting the blocker and all that. We analyzed. Well, of course, there was there was a workaround thoughts around it. However, the workaround was temporary. It would work. The automated test would work. They would log in, and after a while, it kicks them out of the system. So we knew that this wasn't going anywhere. And emailed, yes, I was leading the testing strategy. So following what the delivery manager at that time had sent out as an escalation report to say we've been blocked based on this, I had to now I built on that and outlined the issue, outlined what we're trying to achieve, outlined the impact of what the impact if you're not able to do that, the impact on delivery and testing. And I just rounded it off to say it would be good if both teams, security, a representative from security, and two technical representatives on both sides, if we could get into the room and have a discussion around this issue rather than sending emails and chats and Slack up and down. Yeah, so I proposed that, yes, and it was accepted. And I should believe that everyone got tired of emails flying around and, saying we could do this. We got into the room. I had to facilitate. I will tell you, because even at that time, the technical jargons they were talking about, some of them I was a bit like, okay, guys, we are looking for a way forward. And I understood, I just followed my scripts to say, this is the issue, this is what we want to achieve, these are the blockers. We've tried this workaround. However, this would impact our delivery if we are not able to move forward with this. Could you help? And I also included a suggestion to say, okay, can you give us a dedicated user login that falls within the approved policy? Those suggestions were discussed. At the end of the day, the development team found a way out of it, and there was no breach in the security policy. I just feel that sometimes, conversations actually do help, but when you put it in perspective of what was, at the end of the day, I found that the security team didn't understand what the development team were trying to achieve. But in the room face to face,
and that
everyone
that's always the thing. It's like, getting them all in the room and discussing, okay, this is the problem, this is what our concern is, especially in a heavily regulated space. So understand for those of you who are watching, depending upon where you work,
Mm-hmm.
security has a different strength, right? If you are a heavily regulated entity and something like banking, for instance, or financial services,
Yes.
Patricia's in London, even here in the States, there are certain requirements that is like non-negotiable, and you have that power, that regulation to sit on to force people to do stuff. When it's nebulous, when it's unclear, when you're in an industry that security is a nice bolt-on to have but not regulated, then things start to slack into lack, right? And
Yes.
so you'll see that in organizations where don't have a lot of regulation to them, security is it's a harder sell to get people to do stuff. and
It
and
is.
sometimes, I mean, yeah, I've worked in banking, I've worked in healthcare, I've worked in organizations where the regulation takes hold because the lawsuit happened if you don't comply. And so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
nobody is supposed to write a policy and not follow the policy. So that's what, the GRC space and everything like that. But I wanted to flip because we talked about your communication, and basically the moral to the story is sometimes just get in the room and get off the computer.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
Um,
as a consultant, did you start off in a smaller organization, or were you at one of the larger consulting companies in where you are?
all right. So with in the UK setting, you would work, you could work with a smaller or larger consulting. I the My very first consulting role was with a smaller one, and they
Mhm.
had, they go through all the recruitment process, and then they assign you to where you were going to be working. And one of the benefits of for me for working with them was it was like a startup
Oh, yeah.
consultancy as well, and they also were they were also getting people with different skills. And I guess because I would say I had loads of different skills within the IT space. And the one of the challenges as well was also trying to find exactly where
Mhm.
within, yeah, that space. I've got from the development, I've got from security. And I wasn't keen on, and that was about 5 years, the 5 years ago, because I was really fully within the development space after I left the global bank. So I was really keen on make because it just made my day if I'm working in a project that has security involved. Like, yes, I was really very intentional about it. So one of the challenges was actually finding that space, yeah,
Mhm.
for me. And I would also like look at the options that I have. Does this have elements of security in it? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. This one has got it. There's something related to identity and access management system. Yeah, I'm going for it because I was intentional about building and
That's
growing my skills in there. Because my goal was, okay, after all these years of technical stuff in this space, it was leadership. And that was one of the things that brought me to your program, because I'd been
Mhm.
looking for that kind of environment and community as well. I just didn't find any. And I was really so excited to start with the builders program in 2023. So yeah,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, yeah.
that was what brought me in, because I knew that for me to continue in this space, and also because most of my roles I would find myself the only Black girl in the room, yeah, or the only woman in the room. Yeah, it was just it was a lot, but One of my mentors said to me, yeah, he said, you know what, just get in there, open your mouth, and just let them know that you know stuff, you have the knowledge, you can deliver, and don't disqualify yourself. Because don't disqualify yourself. If you're in the room, you have earned being in the room. Don't disqualify yourself before let the recruiters or the organization say, okay, yeah, okay, yes, yeah, we're not going coming for you, we're going for someone else. But don't disqualify yourself ever.
Right.
Once
Right.
you're in the room, yeah, that's your space. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great advice because I've said that before. It's like, whenever someone brings up this whole thing about imposter syndrome, and you guys can look at other videos to see what Miss Mary feels about that if it doesn't come across. If you get the job, guess what? You're not an imposter because you have had multiple interviews and someone saw something in you
Mhm.
and you're in the room. If you're in the room, take advantage of the fact of being in the room. Don't, you know, get intimidated now. They wanted you there for a reason.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
curious to know, before we flip into your passion project, with which I do want to get into that because I'm always one for starting stuff too.
Yeah.
Um, so what you said from a professional side, not the your passion project, from a professional side, I guess what's next for you? I mean, you want to go full blown into security. Do you feel like you're in a role right now that this is, you'll stay here? Are you still learning stuff? Are you still pursuing certain things? What's going on with you?
Oh, yeah, I'm always pursuing stuff. Yeah, so my growth has always come from a place of identifying a need.
Mhm.
And yes, I just ran out of an IT um, audit and program
Mhm.
because I really, really, because we are in a position on my passion project where the security team is built. We now have an infrastructure team, and we want to be able to obtain some certifications, Cyber Essentials, ISO 27001, and there's we are in a place of preparation now. And of course, if I've put my foot into a starting this off, and I'm happy with the outcome. People on the platform, they've embraced it. Recently, we had a security awareness training, and the question was, when are we having the next one? I liked the sound of that. So the process right now is, yeah, let's get ourselves certified as an organization, and that also places us in a place to go out there as well if we are seeking partnership, or we want to have anything to do with the UK government. At the moment, there's some certification you need to have as an organization, as an SME. So that is the direction right now. Personally, for me, um, uh, my my 9 to 5 role uh,
Yes.
is an enabler. All right,
Mhm.
I'm enjoying it, uh, but I would really want that with the direction the passion project is taking us. I'm doing more of governance, risk
Mhm.
assessment, compliance, controls, policy reviews. We are reviewing policies now, writing policies, and I think because of the need for more resources and exposure in that space, I'm sure you've met for me. I've sent one of our one
Ah,
of
yes.
yeah, I've said more are coming to the builders program, to the aspirants. More are coming. They are coming your way, Miss Mary. Expect them. They're coming. Yes. So because what I have gained on your platform has really built me as a leader as well, and I see the benefits of it. So if we have many people as well on this part of the world, because I don't think Mike Builders or Aspirers is only for the people in the US. So if you
No,
have
we
those
are global. We're in 10
global,
countries,
yeah,
actually. Yeah, we are.
yes.
Yeah.
So let's get the benefits of Miss Mary's initiatives. Let's get those benefits here as well, and let's spread that this profession all across the world, not just as employees,
Mhm.
as
Yes,
leaders. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
So
that's the
okay, so let's go back. So we're gonna have to explain the passion project, give it a name, give it how it started, what you guys do, because you talked about how you've matured, but we want to give everybody go take them back from the very beginning, what it is, describe it, what you guys do, and then how you've matured this project.
okay. Yeah. Okay. So the passion project started in 2008. And it started with myself. I was the first student, and that was me relocating to the United Kingdom in 2008. And when I came in, I remember, I think a year before that, my husband gave me the software testing book, textbook, it said to read. But because I worked at the global bank within IT support and compliance, I just felt, yeah, that's the direction I'm going because I actually wrote the CISA exam.
Mm,
I wrote the CISA exam. I didn't pass it. So I'm preparing for the exam right now again, like years after. Like I'm going to pass this exam. I wrote it. I didn't pass the exam because that was like my direction. It was really close to what I was doing in the bank then. But my husband was within he was already working in the software development space, um, from a developer to testing, consulting, and all that. He gave me the textbook. I didn't read it because I felt no, that's not what I want. And
mhm.
I came into the UK, and I came in right in the middle of a recession in 2008. I looked around and I just felt, you know what? I'm not sure if I'm going to get what I'm looking for. And so I didn't tell him. I went, I picked up the book and I read the book. Yes. Yeah, I read the book because, and I think that's one of the things why I'm able to mentor others, especially people like me who have relocated or
Mhm,
moved from one country to the other and trying to
mhm,
define their faith, especially if you've actually done some corporate professional work where you're coming from, and especially if it's coming from the IT space. So yeah, I took up that challenge, read the book, and I humbly went to him to say, okay, I'm ready. Yes, yeah. You want to learn? Stay humble. Don't feel like you know everything. So yeah, he trained me and introduced me to software testing. Okay.
Okay.
So, and that was how I moved from the IT support and compliance space and all that into software testing. And I started to work in that space. I took we that was in Scotland, all right.
Oh,
And
okay.
the first challenge for me, I would say, was the accent.
Mm.
So I would get home and say to him, I can't hear what they're saying. And he said to me the same, he said, they probably can hear what you're saying as well. Yeah. So he said, don't worry, you'll get used to it. And that went on. Then we moved to London,
Mhm.
where, London was what this is where a lot is happening. Yeah. Because there were more opportunities there, and there weren't a lot of us in Scotland then. No, no. There weren't so a lot of IT professionals that even my husband too, he affirmed the same thing. And we moved to London and we came to where after myself, a couple of my friends too trained, yeah, back in Scotland. And uh, one of them is a mentor with us right now, but she left test and went into business analysis. Then we moved to London and saw a couple of my friends that we were all in corporate back in Nigeria, saw them at Tesco's at the till, and I said, no way, there's no way you should be, you know. I said, I invited her over, introduced her to my husband, and we started to train. I think there were two of them came November. By January, the first lady, my sister-in-law actually, she got her first job. No, my friend got her first job 3 months after my sister-in-law got a job within the software testing space. And we started to build on that. The site friends of friends decided to tell their friends and all that. And I was working on in a project at that time where, I found there were 14 of us employed on a massive government project, and I was the only Black girl in there. There were other people from all, and I just felt really like, oh, what's going on? Where are our people? So I carried that burden with me for a couple of years. I kept saying to myself, we need to grow this. We just felt the same way. We need to keep growing this. We need to keep growing this. And we took it to church. And my pastor said, well, what you're doing is more than what you're doing in your living room. I guess you guys, you need to take it all out there. And we didn't even know COVID was coming, but we had
Mm,
the conference calls, applications, and all that. And we just saw, because friends of friends were calling to say, oh, do we have to come physically to your house for this
mm,
training? Then we moved it to church. And we just thought, what, can we just try the online thing?
mm, mm, mm,
Conference call.
mm,
That was how we started. We didn't even know COVID was coming, and we just started. Um,
mm,
we grew from just software testing to business analysis to training as Scrum Masters to training Scrum Masters as delivery managers and data analysis. And of course, there were people who were on the platform. I'll say 95% on the people on our platform are people who were trained, went out there, got their jobs, and they are back on the platform. Why? Because the community thrives on the knowledge, the skills that they
absolutely.
acquire,
Mhm,
yes, and they bring it back in. In fact, I just see the communities differently. I was like, oh, when did we start? Everyone is doing so amazingly well because we also had to delegate, give people roles, leadership roles, so they can own the process and move forward in this because there's so much. How much can we do? Just the two of us, and we've got a family as well. We've got kids,
right,
and
right, right.
yeah, so that has grown. Now we have partnership with the university in the UK, so they are offering diploma in IT and certificate in IT. We do the training. The okay, yeah. So we just do the certificate of attendance, but they issue the certificates, the diploma certificates, and all that, and we have proper graduation. So and the needs for other courses started coming and all that cybersecurity, and I thought, oh, we as an organization also building because we also have another arm where we're building software products for organizations and all that. So we need to firm up our own security position as well. And I took that responsibility on. And I had to replicate how we started with testing in the
Yep.
cybersecurity thing. Yes, because it worked. Yeah, so
Mhm.
it worked. So that's been the process. And recently, the 2025 has really been an amazing year. We got national award. Um, we got a national award for excellence in learning and development, and that qualified us for the global award as well. And we also got the global award. And the name of the organization is Blue Sky Citadel in the United Kingdom.
All
Thank you.
right, all right. See, you could see you start with the name. What I don't know what your marketing team is telling you. You start with the name first, and then go into what
Yes.
it does. But I'll leave it alone because, of course, you know me. I just we will be launching our school. We're in the process of launching our own cybersecurity training center here, and so would love to get you guys involved with some of the training that we're doing as guest lecturers and things like that. I think, you know, my whole thought process on starting our training center is as you, it's that you learn from the knowledge that you obtain from everybody around you. I think younger professionals, transitioning professionals, they've gotten out of this, they think they need to know everything, and so they come into the space, they read a book or they listen to a blog or they, you know, ask Chat GPT and they think they have this knowledge, but it takes practical hands on
Yep.
actually learning it from a day-to-day perspective. This is not, you can read and study for certification. You cannot read and work in cybersecurity without learning how to apply what you're learning into real life situations
Absolutely.
and things like that. And that's, you know, what we are doing within our cybersecurity training center. And so it's like, okay, I need you guys to understand that there are only a few, you know, there's still 5 million global jobs out there. We still need to figure that piece out. And so as we now
Mm-hmm.
train and develop individuals in the space, now you need to practice, because you just reading it in a book is not, that's not, no, like you said,
Yeah.
you're drafting policies, you know, because you see, oh shucks, you know, I talk about this and this is good practice, but I don't even have it for myself. And so those are the types of things that, you
Yeah.
know, we can continue to give back and understand and learn and grow as for everybody, for a knowledge perspective. We only have like 10 minutes. There's some folks out there on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, please drop them into the chat. Uh-oh, am I monitoring the chat? Maybe I'm not. If you have any questions, I am monitoring the chat now. Please feel free to drop them in the chat. But okay, so the challenges that you were facing, it came across because, of course, you saw a need, right? This is what entrepreneurs do. And it's like, okay, well, you can get it, you learned, you know, you got a book, your husband gave you a book and said, go do
Yep.
this, you went and did this and you actually learned, and now teaching others to do the same thing
Yep.
within your environment. And then your 9 to 5, what you say, is an enabler for what you want to really be doing. So in the passion project itself, and usually passion projects turn into viable businesses of themselves,
Yeah.
because you ultimately you care so much about it. I mean, Miss
Yeah.
Mary is a firm example of passion projects turning into you know, businesses. But okay, so your students and everything you're learning, you have that platform, you're going to go and you're going to create more structure. You guys won these awards, now you're getting structure around it.
Yep.
So when are you stepping out and going all in on the passion project?
Yeah. We're ready. Well, we are already out. I think, okay, I'll say it. Okay, so um, my husband is CEO. Yeah, I am COO. And he's that CEO. And one of the things that I learned coming on the Builders and Communicators program is also to understand the leader you're working with. He's, he's just, we are doing this, you know, and I'm thinking, why? How? I am looking at, okay, this is where we are, roadmap, like, so I'm like, all the bricks, and the truth is, all the let's go there, we are doing this, it has worked. All right.
Mhm.
But I believe that it has also worked because that's a mindset of a CEO. They don't dwell too much on analyzing and breaking down and all
Fair.
those. Yeah. I'm a naturally shy person, but this
Mhm.
industry has brought out the best in me
Mhm.
to because you can wake me up any time of the night or whatever and ask me to talk about what I do in my profession. And I feel comfortable. I don't have to, like try to think through what I'm going to say. Or yeah, well, of course I have to prepare, is but when it comes to, this project, we're going there. Yeah, I would analyze and break it. So and it keeps saying we are not where we are going yet. And I know, and I believe that the preparatory steps that I'm taking to get us to, you know, well, oh, security, safety, yeah, we need to be certification for this, we need to obtain it, email. And you talked about marketing. Now, I will tell you, um, sometimes I guess both of us are even the ones telling our marketing teams what to do because they came in to learn about IT. Now we are teaching them how to be marketers. Like people come and say, you don't have a lot of followers on social media. And I'm thinking, where's the time to do that? It's time
That's
to build
because
the
you
thing.
see okay. Let me give you some advice and counsel here live
Yeah.
on the call. I found that until I went out full time on my own and did it every single day, the
Yeah.
organization didn't grow.
Yeah.
And when I stepped out of corporate America and stopped dividing my attention, because it was easy when you get a paycheck. Now, when you're not getting a paycheck, you got to go get it.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
so that's a fire under your feet too, a motivation. And so you learn different things. And there are certain things, our social media, I have a marketing team. I don't no, here, go do that. And of course Ralph is my
Yeah.
executive assistant, and he does a lot as well. And it's just like I can't go, I have to be able to focus on this area, but there are certain delegations, and y'all need a Ralph in y'all life. That's what I will tell
Yes, we do.
everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We do need. Maybe we can clone a Ralph now.
You cannot take my Ralph. You cannot take my assistant. That is not
There can only be
happening.
one Ralph. Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. We know that we need that absolutely. Um, but of course, we've tried, uh, but it's just one of those projects now that we know that the marketing is just as important as much as we can do and get a lot of the noise out, the visibility out there, and I know
Yeah.
from what I've learned as well, it doesn't have to be all the platforms. You can start with one, LinkedIn, build a, yeah. So we're working on a project right now with one of our best BA mentors, to start putting articles together
Mhm.
and creating that. Of course, we need the content as well. Now
Yes,
yeah, we've
definitely.
been talking about it for a couple of years. Now it's starting to, yeah, we are in the discovery phase right now. Yeah, because we attempted it at some point, and it was like everyone just lost the drive. But I said, you know what? I want to see 50 articles. Yeah,
Mhm.
before we
Mhm.
we say this is our MVP. 50 articles, because you guys have delivered. You've picked on specific topics as a BA, you've picked on specific topics as a tester, you've picked on specific topics as data analyst in your community, and you've come into your community to teach others. So I need you to put those together
Mhm.
as your article because you did the research, you did the reading, and you've trained others that benefited from it. Yeah, when I see 50 articles, yes, now I know we do have some content, and then we'll put a structure around article
Now,
submission.
see, I'm with your husband on here. You're doing too much here. It could just be something as simple as a newsletter. The newsletter is 3 pages.
Yeah,
You get people to contribute to a newsletter, and I understand the
100%.
commitment, but you put it on the calendar. Come on now, Patricia. You come on now. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit. I'm quit fussing at you. You miss me. I know you miss me fussing at you every
I,
Saturday. For
I
those
do,
that
I
are
do,
watching out there, the
I
Mike Lee
do.
Builders Program and the Communicators Program
Yeah,
applications are currently open. I will be remiss while I'm talking about marketing. I will be
yeah,
remiss if I didn't point that out. If you're out there, if you're looking to skill up, train on the non-technical side, what I call corporate survival skills, the Builders and Communicators Program. The Builders Program is meant for those entry level, going all the way to mid-career. The communicators program is for those that are looking to get into people leadership or already people leaders and to move forward. We've had great graduates. We have great things that have come out of both of our programs.
yeah.
I recommend them wholeheartedly. And Patricia's, she's telling you, she missed me. Y'all miss me
I do.
fussing at y'all. I know y'all do.
Every other week,
Well,
I was always looking forward to it. Every other week, every other week. Yeah, I could
well,
be coming
thank
back
you.
for a top up.
There you go.
Yeah,
Might as well come on back. That's okay.
yeah,
I thank you so much for sending people to me as well. I'm hopeful
yeah.
that Fumi's gonna having a wonderful experience as well. But thank you so much for joining us this evening, telling us
A
your
pleasure.
story and talking to us about being a consultant, going from consultant to entrepreneur. It's a wonderful place to be. And like I said, your passion projects tend to turn into viable
Yeah,
businesses. So good luck at everything
thank
that
you
you do.
so
I
much.
definitely look to partner as we now develop our school and go that route as
Awesome,
well. All
awesome.
right.
Looking
Well, thank
forward
you
to
so
that.
much, Pat.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Yeah,
All right. All right. Have
all
a good
right.
Friday, everybody. Please like and
Yeah.
subscribe, and we'll see you next time.